start planning. Oh, thank you. We need to start planning for the best summer ever. So first, we're just going to start off with a little icebreaker today. I just want everyone to go around and just say what you want, what you're doing this summer. Like, do you have anything planned? Do you have ideas that you want to like do this summer? Do you want to go like rock climbing? Do you want to go, I don't know, take a bartending class? I don't know, just anything. So I'll go first. Some things that I want to do this summer, I really want to go to the beach a lot because I feel like I haven't gone to the beach since COVID. Like I know you could do like social distancing at the beach, but I feel like it was still like still wanted to play it safe. So I haven't been to a beach in like a year and a half. And I went just last week for the first time in forever and I felt so good. So I definitely want to do that more. I want to go like surfing. I want to go skimboarding. Like basically everything at the beach I want to do. So yeah, those are like things that I plan on doing. Those are just little things, but we're gonna popcorn it. I'm gonna popcorn it to someone and I'll popcorn it to Ricky.
Somehow I knew you would popcorn it to me when you mentioned bartending.
Yep, yep.
So for those of you who don't know, I've been taking classes to become a bartender. So yes, I already passed it and I have the certificate and everything. So now I've just been practicing making drinks and stuff like that. I see Nathan is a big drinker here, so maybe I can use him as a guinea pig. Oh, Nicole, you want water on the rocks? All right, say less. It's a very complex drink to make. Let's see, I'll popcorn it to Nicole.
For me, I think I'd like to go to the beach too because I feel like I'm like one shade lighter from like how I was last summer because I was always in the sun, or like 2 summers ago, like before the pandemic. And of course, I want to go to Six Flags. And I also plan on doing just a lot of eating and dorm shopping too. And I popcorn Taylor.
I mean, my big plan for the summer was the trip I'm going on this week. But on top of that, like, I just want to I feel like I'm trying to make up for lost time last year. So I just want to go to more restaurants in town that I enjoy, see some movies, just like do more things outside, go on hikes and stuff because I was so cooped up all year. So yeah, popcorn Lenore.
Six Flags, but also like do nothing, but also do nothing with people, but also do things with people, like eat and other things that you do with people. Yeah. I love popcorn too, Audrey.
I had all this time to think. I will be mostly hanging out with friends. Like I am planning a couple trips right now that I really want to go on. And I've been really focusing on my intimate circles a lot. So I also want to spend more time with family. My brother is actually coming down this weekend to like plan his wedding. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out a lot with my family. I have to start studying for the LSAT. Yeah, I kind of want to cry. I kind of don't want to do it, but I kind of have to. So I will start that in July. Why will I not start it now? Because no, no. That's my only reason. Just no. What else am I gonna plan to do? Oh, I need to learn how to cook. Yeah, because I almost gave my brother salmonella. So I would like to never do that again. Thank you. Popcorn Nathan.
Okay, so pretty much what Nicole and Alex said, going to the beach a lot since I love being there. Actually went yesterday, so it's finally great to just hang out. And I really miss boogie boarding. We had to sell my old one, so I'm trying to look into some now. So at least next time I go to the beach I can actually have something to do besides just sitting in the sand and swimming. But yeah, fun stuff. I'm also going to be heading on a trip next month to Big Bear, just with my entire family and my cousins. Also, trying to look into some other trips with friends. I still have to ask my parents because road trip. They're nervous about it, but like you know, we'll see how that goes. I also want to try to learn how to cook because already 21, don't really know how, and I will need to know how if I'm going to move out. So, yeah. What else? I was gonna say sleeping. But really I need to fix my sleep schedule. So I think I have good opportunity this summer to finally fix it. So healthy sleeping, yeah, not sleeping at like 6 a.m. like I am used to. I feel like there's a lot of things just because we were deprived of a summer last year. So I have a lot in mind, pretty much. So a lot of stuff.
Awesome. Well, just to let you guys know who said cooking, like they want to learn, we are going to have some like learn the field cooking editions. And I'm going to like show you guys how to like cook. That's like stuff I already have planned out. So like just keep an eye out for that stuff. You'll learn like general like cooking stuff and like how to do like, let's say like an Italian themed night, a Mexican themed food night. So you'll learn, you'll learn some things. That's later down. But for now, let's stick with summer planning. It was cool to hear everyone's plans this summer. I hope everyone gets to do what they want to do. Yeah, let's go on. So the past couple days, I've been doing some research and I found a bunch of like ways to effectively like plan a summer and actually get things done this summer. So like these are some steps to effectively plan and cherish the memories and to act, like legitimately enjoy your time. And it kind of falls into these 7 steps. It may look different for you, but these are some steps that I found very helpful for me, and it could help you too. So like one of the first steps that I have is making a list. So right here, this is basically planning out like if you want to do beach days, you know, if you want to go hang out with friends, if you want to take a trip with your friends or just hang out with your family, like it's very important to have a general idea of what you want to do to ensure that you don't do nothing this summer. You know, you want like to have that general idea. You're like, you know what, I have things I want to do. I just actually have to go do them, you know, just have that in your head. You kind of get the ball rolling. And you guys should start like writing down the things that you want to do just so you don't forget. Because I noticed like, oh, like, let's say I'm like, I want to go to the beach. I want to go play video games. I want to learn how to cook. But you just tell yourself that, you're most likely 9 out of 10 times going to forget. You know, let's just be real. It happens. So sometimes you should, you know, write it down, whether it be on your phone, on notes, just get a piece of paper and write it down, a chalkboard, whatever. Write down the things that you want to do just so that you don't forget later on. And you want to save that list for later, especially for the next steps to like plan an effective summer. 2, plan the big things. There's a general rule that I follow for these type of things, and you want to plan the big things before the small things. Just because it's easier to portion out times for bigger activities while the schedule is still empty, you know? You want to work the little stuff around the big stuff, because once the big stuff are like set in stone, like you obviously like shouldn't touch that, and you can just put everything in the filler spots as opposed to having a bunch of small things and you don't have enough time for a big old like large scale trip, you know? So it's really important to do it that way. For any big scale like event, like if you're going to go to Big Bear and you're going to get like Airbnb, or like you want things to do, like let's just say an example, swimming in the lake or going on a boat ride, it's always important to check up with like companies or establishments to ensure that they have certain activities like available. Because one of the biggest things that sucks is like being let down when you actually get there and they end up not having what you wanted. An example was when I went on a trip a long time ago, we wanted to do zip lining at this specific like campsite that they had. And we didn't check ahead, and it turned out that the zip lining was closed and we weren't able to go on that. So it's like super important to like check up with them and make sure like, okay, do I want to make that compromise to not do the thing that I wanted to do? So it's always good to just check up, you know, and then you can worry about that later. So while making your list, start scheduling the specific days and times for big events. So it's really good, like if you want to do like, let's say a 4-day Big Bear trip, try to find days that work for you that don't coincide with anything with, let's say, club, school, or church, or not church, sorry, work, or church, why not? Yeah, church, why not? But just like the things so that they don't like coincide with each other. Yeah, that's really important to do that. Make a calendar so you don't forget anything, because when you have stuff like that, you want to make sure that you remember the dates, especially if you put them on. Because there's times where I plan something and then later on my friend's like, you want to go get food this day? And I'm like, sure. But then I forget that I have a trip and I didn't mark it on my calendar. It was kind of just in my head. it's important just so you don't forget other things and you don't potentially let people down. So that's like the planning the big scale portion. Yeah. Oh, I think I repeated. All right, there we go. Summer budgeting. Now this is really important. You want to have a good budget for your summer. The way that I look at it is like, if you want to do big stuff, save most of your money for the big stuff. Like if you want to go to Disneyland, for example, that's going to be expensive. But if you're going, you want to, you want to have enough money just in case. So let's say like let's just say you save $500. You get a Disneyland ticket and you want to like spend at least $100 at Disneyland. Just an example for food and all that. You want a general rule that I like to follow with that type of stuff. Oh, I'm in the wrong. What the heck is happening? Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I was on the wrong slide. You want to save usually 20 to 50% of your summer income for big activities. And it's good to have more money than not enough money, just in case you have like some things that you want to do, some experiences, some activities. It's always good to have that. And use any leftover stuff. Let's say instead of the $100 you were going to spend, you only spent 50. Put the $50 into the other things you want to do. And you can even do more things now because you save more money in the end. So that's like a general budgeting tip to follow for this type of stuff. Coordination. So this kind of like follows like the planning the big things. You want to coordinate with people. You want to coordinate with businesses, establishments. Because if you don't coordinate with people, things are just going to go like, it's just going to be bad. If you don't communicate with your friends, like, oh, we're going to go this Friday, you don't tell them, they're going to be out of the loop. They're going to feel like, oh, you didn't remind me. How was I supposed to remember? And there's just this whole mess. It happens to a lot of people. It happened to me a lot. So it's really important to always keep people like posted and communicate with them just to ensure that they're not out of the loop and that you're not out of the loop, And one thing to always keep in mind, it's always okay to compromise. Sometimes you have to compromise to have a more efficient summer or a more like fun-packed summer. Let's say you wanted to, let's say you wanted to have a fun day with your friend and you wanted to go to the beach all day. But then they say, oh, but I can't go to the beach all day. I can only go for 2 hours. But why don't we do this like right after? Because I can't go to the beach all day. Like sometimes you have to compromise. Maybe it's not something you want to do, but sometimes you just have to do it and it may lead to something good. Yeah, so that's kind of like that portion. Finalize. It's super important to finalize activities. A lot of people kind of just go with the flow and sometimes plans don't end up going as they should. Sometimes you just don't do it all together. Sometimes you just forget. You want to contact people, make sure, hey, you're still good for this Friday. Hey, you're still good for July 10th. You're still good for this Big Bear trip. Always make sure people are still on board because you never know if there's like a last minute thing that may happen or people just simply forgot. You want to make sure of that stuff. It's better to call ahead and be prepared instead of going with the flow and it not working out for you. It's just going to be a whole mess and it's just going to be a bad time for you and for the person. It's not going to be good. Execution. So this is one of the more fun parts of the actual summer planning is like doing it, do everything that you wanted to do, everything, all the budgeting, all the time, all the effort you made into making a list and finalizing everything. Now it's like your time to have fun, make the most of every moment. And one rule to follow that I follow is, you can make a schedule for your like activities or events, but never feel worried that you're not going to do something. Because once worry starts coming in, then you're going to get stressed and you're not going to be able to enjoy the moments. You're not going to be able to enjoy the present. Because let's say, for example, you go to Six Flags and you want to go on Goliath and all day you're worrying like, I just want to go on Goliath. That's the only thing I want to do. Now you're stressing about something where you're in a place where you're supposed to have fun, like that's not good. You're not going to have a good time. So it's very important to make the most of every single moment and don't regret not doing something that you wanted to do. If there's something this summer that you're like, oh, I want to go surfing, or I want to go learn how to ride a bike, I want to go learn how to make sushi, or just some random things, like I'd say go for it, because it's not good to have regrets in life, especially with things that you genuinely want to do. You don't want to go down the road and be like, I wish I would have done that summer when I had time, So it's very good to just go for it, like you can go with the flow, but sometimes you just need to go for it. Sometimes take risks to do things that you want to do. So that's like kind of my 2 cents on that. And I hope if there's something you want to do this summer, just go and do it. Enjoy every moment. Kind of going with that, with the last step of planning your summer, is capture the moments. You want to show your kids one day what you did, or even your friends and family what you did one day, or when you did when you were younger. Every moment is precious. Take a second to appreciate your surroundings. Take a photo, take a video to remember the good times. And there's like a quote that I took, if ever anyone's seen The Office, there's a quote that Andy says in the very last episode, and it kind of like made me like want to actually cherish every moment and like kind of like document it, because you're not going to be able to live that again. You'll only have the memories. And what he said was, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them. You may not know that you're in the good old days, you know, before until you leave them, you know. And sometimes the only way you'll remember is through photos, through videos, through things that you could take to later on in life, you know. There's pictures that I have on my phone from like, because once I started watching The Office, it was like 3 years ago, to be honest. You know, I didn't watch it before that. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? I do really want to like start documenting everything, you know, because you never know what may happen. So like a couple years ago, I had some friends, right? And sadly, some things happened and I'm not able to see them anymore because of some situations. But I'm thankful that I have, like, I'm not even kidding, I have 300 photos and videos of them so I could like remember them by, you know? So it's like, I'm glad that I have that, because if I didn't, like, how else would I remember them? You know, just a memory. Like sometimes memories aren't good enough. You want to have something to remember them by, either that be a memento or like photos or videos, like I said. So always cherish your moments, enjoy your time with people. Don't be afraid to document. Don't be afraid to be like the person that's like, oh wait, can we all like take a group photo? Because sometimes, you know, that is a little like, you don't want to be like a bother, but sometimes you have to do that, you know, cherish the moments. And today it was kind of short today. It wasn't a super in-depth like learn the field. This is kind of more just like fun general stuff, something that you could take for this summer. You learn some tips and tricks. You learn to capture the moments, because it's always good to capture the moments. You don't know when that moment may be lost forever. You never know. So it's always good to just cherish what you have now, plan an effective summer, and just have a good time overall. And with that, that's the end. Thank you for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little event.